South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is facing heat for a couple of comments that he made on Fox News Monday night.
Here's the first clip that's making its rounds.
To all the anti-Seminites, to all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for.
Conservative commentator Matt Walsh wrote on X, "This is an insane thing for a United States senator to say. Totally indefensible." Then there was this clip where the senator sent a message to Saudi Arabia.
Here's what I want to say to Saudi Arabia tonight. I'm willing to do a mutual defense agreement with your country to give you protection in perpetuity. Under the agreement I've been pushing, and I hope we can continue to talk about, if you're attacked by Iran, we would go to war for you.
This obviously prompted people to question by what authority Graham had to guarantee something like that, like MS Now columnist Eric Michael Garcia.
Now, Graham also went viral earlier in the day for what some might unsurprisingly say is urging Israel to use more restraint when attacking Iran.
After Israel struck 30 of Iran's fuel storage sites on Saturday, Graham posted on X, writing in part, "There will be a day soon that the Iranian people will be in charge of their own fate, not the murderous Ayatollah's regime. In that regard, please be cautious about what targets you select. Our goal is to liberate the Iranian people in a fashion that does not cripple their chance to start a new life and better life when this regime collapses. The oil economy of Iran will be essential to that endeavor."
Now, Graham's seemingly sudden shift toward a more restrained strategy took a lot of people by surprise. The Young Turks' Cenk Uygur responded to Graham, writing in part, "You sound like you're pleading with your boss. Why don't we take charge? Tell them if they don't listen to what we tell them to do, we'll pull out of the war and stop funding them. Guarantee they listen after that." And his colleague, Anna Kasparian, joked that she had a better plan for Graham as the war rages on.
I have an idea. Why don't we just like airdrop Lindsey Graham in the middle of Iran right now? Or Lebanon. Why doesn't he fight Hezbollah himself? I'd love to see it.
Meanwhile, those strikes on Iran's fuel depots come as the war has led oil prices to skyrocket, blowing past $100 per barrel for the first time in nearly 4 years after Russia's attack on Ukraine. The price of a barrel of oil is hovering right around $90 as of this morning, down from a spike to nearly $120 per barrel early Monday morning. That jump in oil prices translated to an average 51-cent jump at the pump over the last week. The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded is now $3.53, up from just under $2 this time last month. The president appeared to be giving mixed signals as to when the war will end. During a House Republican conference in Miami, President Trump described the Iran war as a, quote, short-term excursion, but also said, "We have won in many ways, but not enough."
He added that the U.S. is searching ultimate victory, and that will put the danger to an end once and for all. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also gave a presser earlier this morning. Here's what he had to say.
Today will be, yet again, our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes. Intelligence more refined and better than ever.
The president described this war as very complete recently, and Hegseth is saying now today, a few minutes ago, it's the most intense day.
Let's come back to that. First, Lindsey Graham.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. He can't say, so first of all, it is a false notion that he is like some popular beloved figure among MAGA. MAGA has never liked or trusted him very much. For this exact reason, he's just unilaterally, single-mindedly focused on war with everybody at the same time. First, he has no right to make an agreement or a promise to Saudi Arabia. He's not the president. Second, should we make such an agreement to defend them no matter what? What are these no matter what commitments? That's true of Israel too. I agree that Israel is our ally, but Britain is our ally, France is our ally, Germany is our ally, Canada is our ally, Australia is our ally. I would never say about any of them that no matter what they did, we would stand by them. I mean, if they committed war crimes and they were doing something not in our national security's interest, we would tell them not to do that, and then we would disassociate if they kept doing it anyway. So there's no ironclad arrangement with anyone. That's insane. That's not America first to say that no matter what, I'm with Israel. Okay, go. You know what? Then go be the senator from Israel. Come on, man. The only country for whom your loyalty should be unquestionable is the United States of America. And that is what offended so many people, myself included among them. That was just wrong.
And the American public hasn't, well, the president hasn't made it extremely clear that we're not in a war that is not solely our own, right? They haven't convinced Americans, which is why you have people on both sides of the aisle asking for specific end games and goals in this entire back and forth, because a lot of people don't really see that transparently aside from help an ally, which is always an option, but war for a lot of people wasn't on the table, especially when you skip Congress. Now, I think that Graham is interesting because he's somebody who's looked at wholly as a war hawk. And so for him to say, scale back, you hit all these oil areas, he
was saying that because he's worried about the cost of oil going up too much and there being too much pushback from the American people, from Trump's own voters, to discontinue. That's why he was saying that.
But there are reports that even America was surprised by the level of attacks coming from Israel regarding hitting those areas full of oil. Right, and so there were reports about it raining toxic oil through the skies of Iran and whether that was the goal. And so if the U.S., as we keep hearing from Hegseth, is leading this mission, then why are you surprised by what a smaller ally is doing? So much so that the war hawk is on television saying, wait, slow down. Also, Meghan McCain said perhaps maybe Lindsey Graham is not the person that should be on every single channel. Maybe the president should ask him to scale back, because not only is he sending mixed messaging by saying, wait, you're going too far, but also I support anything you do, he also is scaring people because he's going on air. And this is Meghan McCain's point, that he is going on air and just like, we need to push forward. And who are you communicating with to say that we're going to make new alliances, like you said, with Middle Eastern countries?
He was on Maria Bartiromo's show over the weekend, and he put on a free Cuba hat saying Cuba's next. He was giddy.
Right.
He had like a very disturbing glee at the prospect of yet more war. Again, Trump did promise no new wars. Right. We're going pretty hardcore against this right now. In service of one man's ideological crusade is what this sounds like.
And there's a merit to the concept that we're discussing and nuance that's needed about people, Iranian people or Cuban people or Venezuelan people, that do want freedom from the oppression of authoritarian regimes or governments that they don't align with, that will leave people dead. But there is a conversation about the way that we're going about it and the decision for war right now that we know has left several service members of Americans killed and several school children and young people killed as casualties of this war. And so a lot of people say, was now the appropriate time? Was there an imminent threat? And is this all justified to get to the goal of freeing the people? Because there's no plan. Even when Hegseth was asked, what's next? If Trump says we're near complete, what comes next? Are you guys going to help with that regime change? This was a question asked today. And he said the goal is to make sure that Iran has no access to any nuclear capabilities, meaning that's the only thing that he's focused on. That's a totally different goal than trying to free the people.
Graham talks about the people, there will come a day where the people have risen up and taken control of Iran and that it's democratic. Maybe, but do we think that's a very likely option? I mean, does anyone believe that is a really likely option right now? I don't.
His son was just put into the position to lead the country.
I mean,
and so he's, we call that a couple. No, I mean, he was though. So,
oh, right.
And what happens is, like I told you last week, there's a council of people that are largely aligned with the past regime that are going to instill the next person.
Still trying to kill all.
So we're just going to keep on that. It's not nearly done. And so again, just in this conversation, we've had several different goals and several different off ramps that make no sense, because Hegseth said this is the most intense day. And so we're just all over the place. Like we said, 11 days in, and have no clear answers.
Yeah.
Up next, 2 teenagers have been charged in federal court following a failed, allegedly ISIS-inspired bombing attempt. Don't go anywhere.